Hello, everybody. So today I have decided to step outside of my comfort zone and do something a little different. And I wanted to share with you guys one of the gifts that God has blessed me with, and that is the gift of writing. And I write a lot of poetry. Well, I used to. I haven't written in a very long time. But I don't really share it because some of my own insecurities, and I have this very bad habit of comparing myself to other people. There are a lot of poets out there that I absolutely admire and adore, and when I hear their stuff and I look at mine, I'm like, okay, your stuff sounds whack. But when God blesses you, when you compare yourself, amongst yourselves, you'll always seem to fall short because we have to realize that man is not the standard. And, every gift that God gives you, is not to be compared to others because your gift is your gift. So I wanted to share with you one of the poems that I wrote probably about 10 years ago. It's entitled Missy. I Now you have to forgive me if you see me looking down because I'm looking at my notes because I have not done this in a very long time. So, and plus I'm a little nervous. So sometimes when I'm nervous, my mind goes blank and I forget. So you have to forgive me if you see me looking down because I'm just trying to remember what I wrote. And so, let me go ahead and get started. Again, the poem is entitled Missy. So here we go. This is a story about a girl named Missy. Missy was a good girl. She was just misunderstood. Misunderstood because she was misled to believe that she was a mistake, a mishap, and perhaps an uninvited creation of a failed attempt at a successful relationship and the cause of her mother's frustration. So she was on a mission to find what she thought that she was missing. And during this mission, she made a lot of mistakes. And to her misfortune, people misconstrued her because they allowed their eyes to misinform them of who she really was. So they judged her. They labeled her. They raped her of her true identity and therefore mistreated her. But you see, those are the results of preconceived notions when you don't really know. When you don't take the time to see beyond where the natural eye won't go. And take the time just to consider what it is that you don't see so that you can gain some knowledge and see through the eyes of understanding. You see, there's a foreground and then there's a background. The foreground is only what your eyes allow you to see. But you see the background. That's where you start to hit the issues of reality. And the reality was that Missy was a good girl. She was just misunderstood. She was misunderstood because she grew up in a hood where she misbehaved and she was in all kinds of mischief. And she was always misread because she was good in the bed and she was everybody's favorite mistress. She allowed Mister to misuse her body for the sex that she mistook for love, all because she was misled to believe that she was beneath and never above, because someone thought it was their obligation to miseducate her with their misguided belief about her, which resulted in the outcome of their misjudgment of her. But you see, they didn't see what I was able to see, because if they did, then they would know that all those years that they called her loose, you see, that was only a branch, and abuse was its root. And all those who said that she was nothing but drama was the underlying effect from pain and trauma. And all those who whispered that she was every freak's dream, well, you see, that was caused by poor self-image and low self-esteem. You see, Missy was the queen of misses. She was misbelieved, misconceived, misinformed, and misdirected. She was misused, misconstrued, misled, and misinterpreted. She was mistaken, misjudged, and mistreated, if you would. But you see, Missy was a good girl. She was just misunderstood. Thank you. That was it. I hope that this blessed somebody. I hope that somebody was able to identify and to relate and to know that, there's hope. I wrote this about 10 years ago because I had this one friend who had this horrible habit of, constantly judging people, going into people's lives and thinking she knew the story. But, the reality is that everybody has a story. And sometimes we see the behaviors of people, but we don't know what went on in the background that caused that person to, act the way that they do and respond the way they respond. We don't know what goes on in the background of somebody's life. We don't know their story. We don't know their issue. And so, we shouldn't judge. And so that was my whole purpose of writing this piece, is to, get people to, open their eyes and try to get to know somebody. Try to understand what their story is about. So, you can understand what it is that they've been through and perhaps, minister to them on some level and, to be a blessing. And so I hope that this blessed you. If you liked it, please share it. And please feel free to leave me, any feedback, your honest opinion. I would greatly appreciate it. And hopefully I will do more for you guys. Okay. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.